Hello folks, Reverend Crystal Cox here, Goddess Church, Fort Townsend. And we're going to read some of the Kryon book. You know, that goes with the drum. You know the big ones where you go, this is kind of small, but... Just shut up, Crystal. Alright, Goddess bless you guys. So we're reading the Kryon channeling, number 3, part 3. This is the one I was at in Hawaii. Let's assume you've already saw part 1 and 2. Okay, so the final attribute of the New Age human is that which is difficult for many of you, but you will learn it over time: patience and tolerance. For we tell you that it is the New Age human which is tolerant of his neighbor, which is not enlightened. And as simple as that sounds, it may be difficult for you to realize until it comes at you. When others criticize you, it is your tolerance and your peace and patience that will love them back. For you will see them in their own presence, and you will not judge them. It is the marvelous trait of the New Age human when accused. Rather than thinking of himself, instead to think of the accuser and to love him within his process. It is not a difficult thing to do, for it will be your nature as the New Age human. And although your adversaries may seem difficult, you still will not judge them, for you will see them as part of your own process as you planned it. They are in your life by agreement, but with your karma voided, they're up against a brick wall trying to push your buttons. And in their own process, they are appropriate beings in your lives. Dear ones, it is critical for you to know this. Some of them may never receive the kind of enlightenment that you have, and yet they are on their path just like you. They are no different. They have planned in advance with you to be here, and they have a path and journey of their own. So to criticize or judge them would be to criticize ourselves. To judge them would be to judge ourselves, for each one is part of your collective plan. We wish to tell you something now that you may have already noticed on your planet, and that has to do with tribal awareness. We wish you to look around and see what is happening on the earth. For in the new energy, and with the shifts going on, there will be this element of awareness for you. And not surprising. It has to do with lineage. Dear ones, all the major conflicts and the minor wars of this planet, at this moment, as you sit in this chair, are tribal. That is what has to come at this point. It is no longer nation against nation, or country against country. It is no longer... as in the old energy, for now it is tribe and tribe, and this was expected. To some degree, there will be some of this for the rest of the time on the planet, for not all will become enlightened. This is appropriate, this tribal awareness. It's interesting to see what Spirit wants you to make of it, for it represents the awareness of the seeds of the beginning of the tribes of Earth. For as you join the other tribes of the galaxy, we wish you to feel your lineage. And right now you are feeling it as individual lineages of the tribes on the planet. We ask you to join these feelings into one feeling of human lineage, because, dear ones, you will be forced to later. For in the future you must negotiate with other tribes of the galaxy as one human tribe of the planet Earth. And so we ask you to hold this thought. These things will be clearer to you as time goes on. Another admonition we have for you is that we call upon the leaders of the tribes to translate the ancient language and bring them together as one. And what we mean by this are the languages which are at least 10,000 of your years old. We ask that the spiritual leaders of these tribes, no matter what the lineage on this planet, bring these teachings together and compare them. Look at the similarities and honor them as the truth as they show themselves. Do not depend upon the writings which are any younger than 10,000 years. This will become clearer also as time goes on. There are the admonishments of spirit in the new age, and the honor that we have for you as human beings in order for you to exist now in this new age. For spirit cannot do this itself. You are still humans walking the earth in lesson, and there are so many lessons left for you. Not karmic ones, but earth ones. And later there will be galactic ones. But for now, as you walk the path, as an enlightened human, you will be peaceful about each one as it presents itself. Without fear, even though you face the unknown. This is indeed the New Age human. Okay, it says comment for the reader. This channel was delivered within days after the Japan earthquake of January 1995. We stop for a moment before a Kryon story in order to tell you again in this communication how Spirit views you. Oh dear ones, at this very moment there are thousands who used to be humans on this planet, who have picked up their essence in the cave of creation, and are standing in the hall of honor. For the ones who have recently left this planet, about whom you are sorrowful, are in ecstasy and joy at this moment. If you could see this, and if I could show you the awards ceremony, where they are receiving their colors, you would be in awe. In the now of time, each one of them has unlimited opportunity to stand in the presence of Spirit and be honored by name for their immediate past incarnation and for fulfilling their contract. You would have an entirely different feeling about human death if you could see this. And now let me tell you the story about the Father and the Son. Let the love saturate every pore of your body as the truth of this real story unfolds to you. Now is the time for the healing that you came for and are reading this book for. Yes, I'm speaking to you. We know who you are. That's you too listening to this, whoever you are, at any point in time. There's no such thing as time anyway, right? Right. And so there was on the planet Earth the Father. Now he was not yet a father, but was looking forward to it, for the birth of a child was imminent. And so he hoped it would be a son, for he had great plans for a male child. He was a carpenter, and he wished to teach his son carpentry. A little bit chauvinistic there, Kryon. Okay. Oh, I have so many things to teach him, the tricks of the trade, and I know he will be excited and will carry on the lineage of our trade in this family. And so when the birth occurred, and indeed it was a son, he was overwhelmed with joy. This is my son, he cried to everyone. This is the one who will carry the lineage of the family. This is the one who will have my name. This is the great new carpenter, for I will show him everything I know. We will have a grand time together, my son and I. And so as the baby grew up and became older, he loved his father, for his father doted over him, lifting him up at every opportunity, saying, Son, just wait until I can share these things with you. You're going to love it. You will share our lineage and our craft and our family, and we will be proud of you. Blah, blah, blah. I could care less if my parents were proud of me. Okay, anyway, stick to the story. There's a parable. Okay, I get it. Of course, this was 25 years ago. You will share our lineage and our craft and our family, and we will be proud of you long after I'm gone. So proud. But something unusual happened along the way, for as life progressed, the son slowly felt smothered by the father's attention, and he began feeling that he had his own path, even though the son did not recognize it in those words. And he began rebelling. When the son became the age of the teen years, he was not interested anymore in what his father had to say about carpentry or lineage. Whew, I can relate. And he said to his father, Father, please honor me. I have my own wishes and desires. There are things I'm interested in that are not carpentry." And his father could not believe what he was hearing. And he said, "But son, you don't understand. You see, I'm wiser than you, and I can make decisions for you. Let me show you these things. Trust me. Let me be what I was supposed to be as your teacher, and we will have a grand time, you and I." And the son said, "I don't see it that way, Father. I do not wish to be a carpenter, nor do I wish to hurt your feelings. But I have my own path, and I wish to go my way." That was the last time the word "sir" was used, for the honor between father and son gradually disintegrated and diminished until it became a void of blackness and darkness. For as the son grew even more, he realized that the father continued to badger him to become something he did not wish to. And so the son left home, not even saying goodbye to the father, but instead left a note that said, "Please leave me alone." The father was mortified. "My son," he thought, "I have spent 20 years waiting for this time. He was supposed to be everything, the carpenter, the grand master of the craft with my name. I am ashamed. He has ruined my life." And the son in his life thought of his father and thought, "This man has ruined my childhood and shaped me into something I had not chosen to be. And I do not wish to have affection for him." And so there was indeed anger and hatred between the father and the son, and it remained all their lives to the point of death. And when the son had a child of his own, a beautiful daughter, at that moment the son thought, perhaps, just perhaps, I should invite my father to see this child of his lineage. But then he reconsidered, thinking, "No, this is the father who ruined my childhood and hates me. I'm not going to share anything with him." And so the father never got to see the grandchild. And so it goes that in his 80th year, the father died. And on his deathbed, he looked back and said, "Perhaps now, as my death is imminent, I will call for my son." That's a good time, huh? Okay. And so, in his moment of wisdom, nearing death, feeling his intuition and knowing what was coming, he sent for his son. But the answer came back that his son would not join him. "I don't care about you, for you ruined my life. Stay away from me." And then the son added, "I will be glad of your passing. Oh, the anger and the hatred that was there." The son lived a good life, and it was also in his 80s that he passed on, surrounded by a family that loved him dearly, mourning for his essence that would no longer walk the planet Earth. And this, dear ones, is where the story really begins. For the son passed to the cave of creation. He took the 3-day journey where he picked up his essence and his name and moved on to the Hall of Honor, after he died. And he spent a long time in adoration there, where literally millions of entities in a stadium which you cannot begin to fathom applauded and honored him for what he had gone through while on your planet. You see, dear ones, all of you have been there before, but we cannot show you this, for it would spoil your time here and give you too much remembrance. But you will be there again someday to pick up the next color, for these colors are seen by everyone in the universe when they meet you. Your colors are an identity badge indicating that you are a warrior of light on the planet Earth. It is hard for you to conceive of. I know at this moment as I tell you this, but it is true nonetheless. You have no idea of how important these unique Earth badges are. Someday you will remember my words when you meet me in the audience at the Hall of Honor. Yay! And so the son was there receiving his accolades, and his new colors were placed into his energy to spin into his other clothes to show those around who he was. And when this time was over, the son, in the cloak of the real identity that he is as a universal entity, entered into an area where he immediately saw his best friend Daniel, and the one that he had left to come to planet Earth. And he saw Daniel from across the void and said, "It is you! I have missed you so!" And they came together, so to speak, and embraced, intermingling their energies. And so it was with great joy they spoke about old universal times that they had enjoyed together before the son went to Earth. Frolicking around the universe with his friend Daniel, one day he said to him, "You know, Daniel, you made a grand father on Earth." And Daniel said to him, "My best friend, you made a wonderful son. Wasn't it amazing what we went through as humans? How complete the duality was that separated us as best friends while we were on Earth. How could something be like that? The former son replied. Oh, it was because the veil was so strong that we didn't know who we really were. But the planning worked so well, didn't it? Said the former son. Yes, it did, replied Daniel. For we never once had a glimmer of truth as to who we were. And so we leave these two entities as they head toward the next Earth planning session. And we overhear one saying, oh, let's do it again, only this time I will be the mother and you be the daughter. Yikes! Okay. This precious story is told especially for some of you reading this now, for who have yet to recognize the gift of what is taking place in your life, or have yet to recognize your best friend. Dear ones, look at the love that it took for these entities to agree to go through this. We gave you an example of anger and hatred, but they were only karmic attributes. They were fears to be broken, and I tell you now that had either the son or the father during this lifetime recognized who they were, they would have walked into the fear of the hatred and the anger and come out with love. The other one could not have resisted it, and things would have been different for both of them. This is the New Age human lesson. Regardless of what you think is in front of you and the way it happens, or appears to be, it may only be a paper-thin fear, ready to be dissolved, ready for love to move in. Love is, dear ones, the greatest power of the universe. This love energy isn't just the thing that gives you peace. This love energy isn't just the thing that gives you empowerment. This love energy is also responsible for your silence in the face of accusation, for your universal truths, and at the same time it also is responsible for the most enlightened things that you can imagine on this planet. Where the source of your karmic setup is also love. Sometimes it may take on a strange face, such as hate and anger, but love is the king of the plan. It has substance, it has thickness, it has logic and reason. It is the essence of the universe, and it has passed to you tonight. For we are here now to meet you by appointment. You, by appointment. And all the words that have been spoken this night have been spoken so that you personally can enjoy an earned change of heart or change of energy. And so my partner comes this distance to give you this message, that he is loved no greater way than you, that his task is no greater than yours, and that it is to receive the gift of the new energy and become this new age human. And in the process, reach out and touch your guides and feel the electricity and the magnetism of the love which Spirit has for you right now. Kryon is only one among tens of thousands who are unseen entities in this, your Earth. We hope that this time together we'll have given you a broader overview of not only who you are, but indeed who is the one who sits next to you and pretends not to know you, but who may very well be your best friend or former partner. This is irony here this night, that within this gathering may be the only time that you see each other as humans while you are in lesson. Such is the cosmic humor of Spirit, that the workings of group karma has you coming back over and over to see familiar faces that you do not recognize. Fathers and sons, mothers and daughters, we all know each other. Now, as we surround you with love, we remind you of the family that you are, and that the tribe that belongs to you is that of planet Earth. And so we close this time saying that what you have felt this night, that has been spoken to yourselves, can never be discarded. For it will be a part of you from this time forward, even if you do not remember the words. Receive this gift if you choose. Spirit honors each and every one of you who has made the task and made the trek to this chair to hear this word right now. And we do not necessarily mean the past few hours, but your entire life. For you are in the now with us here. All those reading and experiencing it right now, that's you. Do you really feel that you picked up this book or you came across this video by accident? Our love for you is absolute and given freely in appreciation of who you are. And so it is. You are loved. You are loved. Allow peace into your life. You are loved. Goddess bless you.